We saw that the Democratic Party's black machinery had virtually no remorse towards the children of Gaza. And this should loosen our tongues about the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, NAACP. They have been very quiet. I saw a sideline report that someone said something which didn't amount to very much. They have been very quiet. The reason for this is that they're shameless in the American style of just advancing themselves to get ahead. They see the Obamas just wanted to get ahead. They see law as a game for control. You go to court and you fight it out and somebody wins. And it's a basketball hoop. That's how they see the American enterprise for their advancement. And they want limitations put on social idealisms. Adam Clayton Powell called Martin Luther King Martin Loser King. And the reason why the University of Pittsburgh pretty much endorsed the AIDS attack was because it's a little bit hard to make academic fury about reparations when you're accomplice to mass murder. And of course, they announced that Gaza isn't their fight. And the black man was the victim of AIDS. Curiously, they have someone from Senegal. Let's talk about Youssou for a moment, because he's a partner of Gail Burston. We've heard cries of disbelief from Gaza since this started, that the Arab world ignored their appeals, wouldn't stand up for them. Iran certainly didn't. We hear people making brave having stood up for them. Senegal did not stand up for them. Senegal likes the idea that they represent the black man in the American franchise. They are the closest continuer of Obama, who's the closest continuer of Ronald Reagan, who's the honorary, the African warrior, because Muhammad Ali said so about Ming Na Wen's one night stand guerrilla theater. It's toxic, absurd theater. But it is, of course, the killdozer that ran over Rachel Corrie. You can't make sense of it. Why would they play the game of advocating for victims while they are themselves the attackers? And of course, the Lenin Houdini phenomenon underwrites that. You have to have a fascination with the occult, the way it actually works. You have over here, they are the people who did it, that's proven. They're advocating that they're partners with the people who did it. They're advocating for the victims. That's obviously their stand. They are the victims. How could they be anything else? And above them all is the shining exemplar, the spiritual victim, who evidence shows was actually involved in this. They used the Houdini system that they had whipped up since the days when media first began. Turn of the 20th century, they began talking about doing this project. They want a media system that plays God. It peeps into your house. And of course, hooligan black folklore traces back to old time slapping five. You know, Ian Wadmaker's favorite movie was MASH because they pull up the blinds on the showers to determine if one of the girls was a real blonde. So they you can't make people mature who aren't, and that fact underwrites the whole litany of abuses. And what Nosferatu tried to do with Wattenmaker, I get really mad when I see the psychological symptoms of what they tried to do. They tried to make a neurohypnotic compulsion. In my psyche. And they did this by a recipe. And the NAACP came along and said, well, did it work or didn't it work? Well, it didn't work, so they had to make like it could have worked or should have worked, or that the only reason it didn't work is because of the music of John Lennon or some Swami Nostrum like that. And Yasuendra never tires of bragging that he is basically the bulldozer smashing Gaza. He never gets tired of bragging about it. Never gets tired of bragging about it. He has this whole Ku Kluxogram in the media system, full of indications that Peter Gabriel put together, argumentations from above, which come from Roger Waters and Donald Trump and Nazi Ringo Starr and Yoko Ono, who saw Aaron Bushnell as God's gift because that's what she wanted to do to me. And she did it to children in tents and got the children in the tents to say, nah, you can't scare me. It comes from Viktor Frankl. He believed that the death wish was secretly a fulfillment, that what you feared most was meant to be fulfilled. He's the guru of Penis Gabriel's House of Fears. How can you stand yourselves for listening to these people incessantly as though they have their magic show together in some sort of insightful philosophy? They had Adam Eisenstadt disguising his voice as Abdul the Terrorist on KDKA radio. And you think they have some magical insight philosophy.